Hello, everybody, and welcome to the D3RAILED podcast. Nubs is out sick this evening, so his AI avatar will be filling in for him sometime later when I find the picture. But that's not important right now. What's up, chat? Tay Liddy's in the house. Willie Drips with all of our sponsors. Willie, are you going to get all of those sponsors for us? Because that's a great slogan. It's Coca-Cola. It's good now, but one day it'll kill you. I love it. All right, what's going on out there? How's everybody doing? Welcome to the podcast. We're going to talk about stuff. And why does my camera... I really wish it would stop shaking. Wesley, how are you doing? Tell the people how you've been. Tell us why it takes 8 Wes's to Wes a Wes.
Because that's how many Wes's were in his sentence.
So it's that simple.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
Doing good, though. Just trying to stay warm. It's a little cold tonight.
Yeah? Do you have heat in your apartment?
I do.
I don't. So I don't empathize with you.
Fair enough.
All right, good talk.
I also have heat, but I don't have siding, so it's kind of negligible.
You stay warm
So
for a little bit and then get cold.
yeah, your heat just whoosh, goes out the side. Cold as shit, man. Yep, Tay, it sure is. Ooh, meatball subs for Din, for Willie Dripples. That sounds amazing. Meatball subs get you excited, Aaron?
My mic's too close to my face.
Did you ever meet Willie Drips at the corner bakery at 2 p.m.?
He didn't show up.
He never showed up. He never fucking showed up, Willie. Oh. I literally hate cold weather. Yeah. I don't mind it. I lived in Florida for 32 years.
I would rather be cold than hot.
Yes.
Same.
100%.
I'm built for winter climates.
%. Oh. Willie's secretary was supposed to email your lawyer, Aaron.
We did get that communication.
Tay, where are you at? I have no idea where Tay Liddy resides. Sunny and 75. 75's a fine temperature. That's fine. 75 is fine. I grew up in Florida where it's 95 all the time. So I was like,
that sounds awful.
Fuck that. Tennessee? You're in Tennessee? Do you live by Basil? Are you neighbors with Basil? Tennessee kind of has its own, like, humidity factor, too, in the summer. Like, it's... From what I understand, it's pretty brutal there, too. Chattanooga? Holy shit. That is where Bays live? Bays or Basil or... Like, where do we live? It's terrible? Yeah. Yeah, Basil's Nashville. Yeah, that I did know that, actually. Yep. Wes and Aaron live in Washington. Washington State. The armpit of the country. I moved from the taint of the country up to the armpit of the country for 10 years. And now I live right in the middle of the sack of this country.
The sack is up in the gut, if that's a sack.
It's pretty, yeah. I mean, America has a big sack. just
Pretty
slinging
much
it
all
around.
sack. Armpits, taint, and sack.
Yeah, dude, it really is. There's no middle ground in America. Yeah, Washington is the Pacific Northwest, so picture California, Oregon, and then Washington. And that's where they live. Oh, Miss Wu. Hello.
California is not the Pacific Northwest.
What? Who said it
California
was?
is not the Pacific Northwest. You did.
No, I said Washington is the Pacific Northwest. I said, but picture
So
California.
imagine California, Oregon, and Washington.
Yes, because she said she's not good with geography. So I was saying, just picture where California is, go up 2 states, and that's Washington. Different sentence from Washington's in the Pacific Northwest. Different sentence.
So see, this is why I can't understand you, because sometimes you want me to read between your sentences, and other times you're like, just take me literally. And it's like, which one do you want at any time? I have no idea. I just speak and listen literally, and that's what I'm going to do all the time.
Okay.
Aaron, I think the problem is there wasn't a long enough break in between Washington's the Pacific Northwest. Just think where California is and go north.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, you said that as like one fast sentence, because I kind of got what Aaron was saying.
Did y'all see the ice cream ass cream line on the map? The ice cream ass cream line? No, dude.
I ask what?
I don't know. It's more Willy Drips. I have to decipher Willy Drips a lot too, just like Aaron allegedly deciphers what I say all the time.
Definitely, it's still in the alleged phase for sure.
Fun fact, because everyone always thinks Canada is most north. Oh, gotcha, Woo. That makes sense. Washington is more north than you. Gotcha. Nice. Nice. So, anybody got any hot topics they want to throw out on the table? Besides politics?
The new Mario trailer is terrible in English, but in both French and Brazilian, it's actually really well. He sounds like Mario.
Yes.
Whereas
But I do want to say that Kanye West is a fucking lunatic. And he needs help. He needs so much help, there might not be enough help to help him. The shit that he's doing is redonk. Did we do anything fun or chill? Kind of both. This got serious quickly. I just wanted to say, somebody needs to go get some help. Okay, Miss Wu, like, you know. I mean, if you don't know, you're really not paying attention to anything, because he's a little bit on the crazy side right now. Like a little crazy.
He needed help when he needed help when he wore the White Lives Matter shirt.
Yeah.
With Candace Owens. And it is escalated so far and so fast to Tucker Carlson. That blew my mind. Kanye's on Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Then Tim Pool. Oh my God. This is insane. He walked off Tim Pool after 10 minutes because Tim Pool didn't want to say that the Jews control media.
Yeah.
And then the next day you're on Alex Jones with a ski mask and a net that you're pretending to talk to, and a yoo-hoo with
and a
Nick
yoo-hoo.
Fuentes. Dude,
yeah, Tay. Yeah.
Crazy.
Tay,
So-
I grew up Jewish, so that, even though I'm not really religious anymore, I don't really practice or anything like that, but A, that's wrong regardless. 2, that really kind of shook me.
He's
And,
not even talking about the Jewish religion. He's
Yeah.
talking about the Jewish race.
Yeah.
Aaron, correct I saw something about the whole Net and Yahoo thing. Is it him wanting to talk about or to Benjamin Netanyahu?
Yes.
Okay, I did read that right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy. No, I know Tay. Yeah, dude. Yeah,
He's
a lot
too
of
far
it,
beyond help.
It was bonkers.
There's
He's
just nothing. The right will not stop platforming him, and they're just using him. He won't listen to anybody who will give him honest advice and help. It's just sad.
But like the Tim Pool thing, when even certain people on the right realize like, hey, that's just going like one step too far, maybe stop, then he walks off. Because the clip with Tim Pool was him, not even him saying that he's wrong. He's just trying to bring it down a notch or two.
Yeah.
Well, that's because Tim Pool's a fucking
Yeah.
grifter, where he brings all these people over to the right with his centrist views, but he's too much of a bitch to actually say the things they want him to say once he gets them on their side. So then they get pissed off at him and then go watch somebody like Nick Fuentes or fucking some other radicalist. He's so that's exactly why fucking centrists are so problematic.
Yep. And to what Tay said, I have seen all the Kim K stuff and Balenciaga, and she's also a fucking lunatic. Like, wow. Defending pedophiles and sexual abuse. Like, it's just insane. It's insane. Her tweet was like unreal. I could not believe that she was like, well, we'll just kind of wait it out and see. Maybe they'll get their act together. And everybody was like, are you fucking kidding me? You're literally going to defend pedophilia as a mother because of your little stupid contract with them? Like, what the fuck, dude? Unreal. How can you be a Kardashian and be that greedy? You literally got famous for doing absolutely fuck all in your life. If O.J. Simpson didn't kill somebody and that trial never happened, their family would have been dick and balls. Like, come on, dude. What'd you say, Aaron?
I said that's exactly why.
Oh, yeah. Crazy.
Everything's handed to you. You expect everything to be easy, and you just want more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
It's not even greed to them at any point.
Yeah.
They want you to think that they work hard, just like Elon and Jeff and fucking, all these people who try to spread this meritocracy bullshit that if you work harder than everyone else, you will too become a billionaire. When
construction workers already work harder than them.
They just buy up companies that
Yeah.
One of the young ones, whatever her name is, she like started a tequila company, and she just buys an existing tequila company, and then makes these promotional videos about how she's passionate about it, and they get their agave from this like massive agave farm that like 60 other tequilas get taken from. It's different than like The Rock, who made a tequila, and he actually like found tequila farm or agave farmers, and like found like, we get our agave from this specific place. They want you to think that they're like that.
Yeah.
They care. Same with their clothing line. They're just absolutely 100% made with slave labor, and they want you to think that they're different.
Yeah.
For some, there's nothing different. They just buy. They didn't work for it at all. They just buy it and then make money off of it.
Yep.
Like SpaceX and Tesla,
And
Yeah.
It's crazy how many people think that Elon Musk like started those companies.
I know. It's so funny. It's really fucking funny. I love the memes I love the fucking memes that are going around. It shows the two guys that actually started Tesla, and then little fucking idiot in the background. Oh my god, it's so funny, dude. Insane. But yeah, Tay, I fucking read all about that shit, and I don't even know if the kids are better with Ye. Honestly, like they're both fucked. They are both so fucked up in the head, dude.
At the end of the day, they both have money to pay for caretakers.
Yeah.
You know, they very rarely ever have to actually see or take care of their children.
Yeah.
Right now, of the two, Kim is the lesser of two evils for those kids.
Yeah, for sure. He is, like I said, he was on one just wearing the Black Lives Matter stuff. Like, oh God, somebody get Kanye. And this is like, there's no stopping him now. There's nothing you can do.
Well, he's been on a decline for years. With the divorce with Kim K, and then her getting with Pete Davidson really messed that up more. Him moving across the street so he could constantly just watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he also got off of his medication at that time as well. Because he thought, you know, bipolar is the mania and the thing that carries through the mania and the depression as you bounce back and forth between them is like this immense paranoia and untrusting, and he just got that way with medication and doctors, and they think that, you know, he thinks that the you know, the Jewish doctors are trying to pump him full of lithium, you know, but
yeah,
it's just when you really think about it, it's sad, but like on the surface of it, you know, seeing him go bounce to all these crazy fucking ludicrous shows and walk off of them and then wear a ski mask and, you know, get edited out all this, you know, Semitic stuff and like conspiracy theory stuff off Tucker Carlson, who already talks about that shit. Like the stuff he was saying was too gnarly for Tucker Carlson. You know, it's just like they just are eating him up, and he wants it. Nobody on the right is going to take him aside and be like, "Hey, let's maybe, you know, talk some sense into you." You know?
Yeah, Miss Wu for sure.
He's to the point. At least I think he's to the point where people won't remember his music. Like, he's not going to be remembered for being the lyrical genius that he was.
I think if it were to stop now, he would, but it's probably not going to. I don't really know how crazy. The thing is I didn't think it could get crazier than Tucker Carlson. And now, like waking up this morning and seeing Kanye on Alex Jones and what he was wearing and that whole, just witnessing that whole show is like, I have no idea what he's gonna do next. He's ditched his handlers. Like, he has nobody that's like trying to wrangle him at all.
Yeah.
He probably keeps firing them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He tried to buy his own bank. Like this person that's crazy, you know, on this tirade, like has enough money where he was gonna buy his own bank because Chase locked him out because he owed money to them.
Yeah.
But in his head, he was like, oh, they're Jewish running the banks and they don't like me because I'm saying anti-Semitic stuff, so they locked me out of my money. So I was gonna spend like $500 million to open a bank, my own bank. I was gonna start my own. It's like, Jesus. Even after losing Adidas, even after losing all that stuff, he still has so much money. Yeah. And he can do this. He can just go around wherever he wants to and get pressed and get.
He has a clothing line still, doesn't he?
Maybe.
I think he has that. I think he has a clothing line, something in fashion.
Yeah. See,
he definitely has something in fashion. Yeah.
The other problem, the other big contributing factor is he's surrounded himself with people like Nick Fuentes and Milo, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yiannopoulos,
Yeah. And these guys, are just like, keep saying it. Just keep just say what you want. No one's controlling you anymore. You go say what you want, type stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has been interesting seeing, I guess, more of the centrist slash right wingers like steering out of Kanye's way.
Mhm.
Like I think the first one I really saw was a song clip,
Wang
but
gang.
it was like Ben Shapiro. Like
he was a month ago. He was defending him, saying
and then,
that his apologizing for his anti-Semitic stuff, saying like he's the boss because he was creating media for the right, basically. But now, because he's gone so far, still saying the same stuff, still saying the exact same stuff, and now he's denouncing him. Like the right are such a bunch of fucking grifters, dude. They just say whatever you want them to say.
I'd like to say thank you so much, Wang Gang, for subscribing for 27 months in a row. In a fucking row, dude. That is insane.
I can't believe we've been doing this for 27 months.
Dude, tell me about it. 27 months. Wang Gang, you're the fucking goat, man. It's a lot of rows. Dude, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. I hope you're feeling better, Wang, than you were last week.
Whatever it was, you gave it to Nubs.
yeah.
Nubs is like officially a week into remission. Nice. Nice.
Oh, that's right. He wasn't sick.
Yeah,
like,
he
with a
wasn't like cold sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Fucking Nubs can't catch a break, dude. Finally gets an interview and then gets sick. Wes, this.
Sorry, I lost what I was gonna say.
Wow. This kiss. All right, well, that's the podcast. Wes is done. See you next week.
Should we do the news?
Not yet.
I liked the Mario trailer, just so everybody knows.
So
I think the Mario trailer slaps real hard,
yeah,
and I'm very excited to see it. But Chris Pratt sounds terrible.
Chris Pratt, Anna Taylor-Joy, and Charlie Day are not playing their characters. Chris Pratt is the worst. Like, unapologetically, he is just not even trying.
Do they have someone cast for Yoshi?
I don't know if Yoshi's in the movie.
I saw Yoshi's in the trailer.
Oh,
There was like
Okay.
the pink ones, pink and green. Well, no, there's the pink and blue ones. I didn't actually see a green Yoshi, to be fair.
Oh, okay.
so we don't know if we have like Yoshi.
The Yoshi, but I definitely saw whatever a Yoshi is, a dinosaur.
Aaron, did you happen to catch the title, the official title now for the 5th Indiana Jones movie?
Yeah, but I forgot what it was.
The Dial of Destiny.
That's fucking terrible.
Eh,
Is Lucas involved in this one at all?
Let me see if it's credited somewhere other than characters based from George Lucas. I'm looking up Mario real quick just to see if
no Yoshi announced yet.
no Yoshi.
Okay.
Yeah, the only confirmed like roles that have been cast: Mario, Peach, Luigi, Bowser, Toad, Donkey Kong, Cranky Kong, Spike, and Kevin.
I can turn anyone into a beach
It's not
bum.
even directed by Steven Spielberg. This one might actually be good. Steven
Right.
nor George have anything to do with this.
Nice.
Oh, that's actually crazy. I thought Steven was attached to it. I guess he's EP, but that doesn't-
James Mangold is the director. Interesting.
But yeah, with the Mario movie, I can't lie, it looks great. It looks like what I wanted as a kid in a Mario Brothers movie. Colorful, all the characters look right. I don't know if I can get past how bad Chris Pratt is in it, though. I think the more egregious thing is they have the guy who has played Mario's voice in every game in the movie.
Who's he playing?
Voice. He's just probably doing small voices throughout it. And at the end of the trailer in the Mario Kart scene, when you hear Mario go Wahoo, I think that's him doing the Wahoo.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I actually really like this director.
yeah, I'm looking at the stuff that he did, and I was like, I love that movie. I love that movie. I love that movie. I was like,
Identity is corny as hell, but I really like it. Walk the Line is
Very
a good
good.
movie. 310 to Yuma slaps.
Yep. Logan
The
slaps.
Wolverine is kind of shitty, but Logan is great.
Mhm.
And Ford v Ferrari is like meh, but still well directed.
Yeah, I liked Ford versus Ferrari. I also liked Girl Interrupted. I thought that was a good one.
Interesting. That is so weird. I guess I just assumed that Steven would be directing this one, but honestly, better not them be involved and let other. It's same thing with Star Wars. Like let other people take it and do what they want to do with it. To varying success, obviously, but
Yeah, Spielberg's
yeah.
just an EP.
yeah, exactly. They're both EPs, but like that doesn't mean anything at all.
Tay, you had to watch 4 ads. I'm sorry. That's the troll toll. You've now paid the troll toll. Crazy.
But it's not written by him. It's written by 3 different people. Oh, it is written by. He does have a writing credit.
Nice.
Jez Butterworth. Wrote Edge of Tomorrow,
Okay.
which is really fun.
Okay.
Wrote Black Mass with
Okay.
Johnny Depp, but I didn't see that. He co-wrote Ford v Ferrari. So it's like the whole team from Ford v Ferrari.
Nice.
That's interesting.
I'm
Okay.
totally okay
It's
with
the same
that.
co-writer. Interesting.
What's your favorite candle, Tay? Yeah, that is
I
very
never would have
interesting.
thought like, I hope that production team makes a new Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
So are we wanting it to be a masterpiece or just be better than Crystal Skull?
Hold the phone.
Oh,
I'm seeing Shia LaBeouf in the cast.
Oh, really?
I mean, it would make sense.
Yeah, didn't he play young Indiana or something?
No, he played
No, he
Indiana
played his
Jones' son.
Oh, son. That's right. Yeah.
He's actually in it. Karen Allen was also interested in reprising her role, noting that she and Jones were married in the previous film, so it would be difficult to move forward without her. Similarly, despite not hearing anything from Spielberg concerning a potential return, blah, blah, blah. Antonio Banderas is cast. John Williams will be scoring it.
Nice. Can't go wrong there.
Yeah, I guess it does make sense because he really only pissed off Steven Spielberg. Basically, he will never work with Steven Spielberg, but because he's not attached to this, then they can. But his character in 4 was so stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
4 was just stupid. I mean, Crystal Skull was just a fucking travesty.
Yeah, it was awful.
He's not credited on IMDb.
Yeah,
For
it's
the
a
cinema.
Google, it's a Google Cast. So I'm wondering if that's like by mistake. Because it's just when you Google it, he's under there. But
Oh,
if he's
okay.
not on IMDb,
Yeah.
that makes no sense. I
Antonio
just feel like they
Banderas
would
is
steer away from that.
true.
Yeah, okay, so that's probably not true because he would be top billed for
Mm.
sure.
Shia, yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I guess cautiously optimistic. So to answer your question, I don't want it to be I don't think it's going to be a masterpiece, but it has potential to be better than 4, and that's pretty dang cool.
Mm-hmm.
Stay away from aliens and we'll be good.
Yeah, dude. Definitely. There's
Yeah.
more Johnny Depp stuff that came out today. They there was a clickbait article from and I think it was from it was either IGM or GameSpot. And they basically put the article, they go Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean's Jack Sparrow to return to Disney film. That's the article. So I was like, oh shit, okay. So I click on it and then I start reading it, and like once you filter through the bullshit, basically they're saying was that Johnny Depp's Jack Sparrow was seen in another Disney film recently, like an advertisement for a movie coming out. I think it's Guardians. I think it's Guardians 3. They go to, I guess like this subplot is like Star-Lord really wants to meet like his childhood actor, right? So they go to Hollywood to try to find this actor, and they run into a Jack Sparrow character on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood, you know? And it's not Johnny Depp, but it's another actor that's acting like Johnny Depp and everything. So now everybody's like, oh, that means Disney's not afraid to put Jack Sparrow back in Disney films. And now with Margot Robbie's movie getting shit canned, like Johnny Depp's going to come back and we're going to get a new Pirates and all that shit again. It's like so funny, dude. I love the rumor mill.
I found the article. It was on the Express.
Oh, Express.
.co.uk.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's for the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. And you're right. The plot is they want to get Star-Lord a present from Earth because they want to bring the mighty Kevin Bacon.
That's right, Kevin Bacon. Yeah.
Yeah. And you see a Jack Sparrow, kind of like just someone playing Jack Sparrow on the streets of Hollywood to get their picture taken.
Yeah. I thought it was just a funny, but do you see how the article looks very clickbaity?
Oh yeah.
The header dude is like, oh, come on.
Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean's Jack Sparrow finally makes his Disney movie return.
Yes. And I'm going to tell you exactly because Aaron knows that I have bad luck when it comes to just reading the headlines and not reading the whole article. So I see it, and I'm like, I read it, I get pumped, and I open it up, and I'm ready to share it. Then I'm like, no, let me read it first. And then I read it first. And I was like, not sharing it. I'll just bring it up to Wes on the show.
Aren't you glad you opened it?
Yep. Yes. Fucking clickbait, man. Brutal.
Oh, that 100% a clickbait.
Dude, hardcore clickbait. Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean, Jack Sparrow returns to Disney films. Like, dude.
It's
so bad.
It's clickbaity in the sense of it's not technically wrong.
It's
technically correct.
They're appealing. So I feel like the headline appeals to people who don't have good grammar and sentence structure, who will read that as Johnny Depp's character's coming back and just ignore the colon and like the structure of the headline. That's what I feel like they're preying on.
Yes, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're hoping for that and hoping people don't read the whole article.
Yeah.
Instead of reading it, they want people to put it on their Facebook, Twitter, social media of choice, so other people click on it.
Yeah.
I heard that Christmas special was pretty good too.
Oh no, nice. Nice.
I'm
I
surprised
did.
nobody in our group was like excited to watch it.
I honestly didn't know
I
about
Something
it.
up your guys' alley.
Yeah, I didn't even know about it until today.
I didn't know it was out yet. I think
I'm falling
Think-
kind of a little bit away from Marvel. I'm really not
I'm
paying
just-
attention too much to like Marvel stuff.
I'm just getting superheroed out in general.
Yeah. I just want like I had so much more fun watching Moon Knight and Loki and like WandaVision and the Disney Plus stuff than I did with like any of the motion pictures since fucking Avengers. But I did find
agree.
what's that, Aaron?
I agree.
Yeah. The only thing that I did want to say was I saw another little article today with James Gunn saying that what he's going to bring to DC is going to be more of not like stuff he learned by doing Marvel movies, but more of the newer, and he kind of referenced, not directly, but Andor. Like, he wants to take the Star Wars new stuff that's on Disney Plus and use that kind of grit and everything and bring it over to DC. He's not going to try to, like, Marvelize it or anything. That should be cool. I'm excited to see, like, what he could bring to DC, because I really would like DC to do really well.
I'd like to see them succeed at more than just Batman films.
Yeah. It would be nice. I mean, there's franchises, anything in life gets better with healthy competition. If Marvel just continues to dominate the superhero space in media, it's not fun anymore. You know what I mean? They can just do whatever they want to do and cash grab everybody and make garbage movies and, like, you know, do what Disney did to Star Wars. Until recently. 789 was just, I mean, Nubs even brought it up last podcast, how they legit said, we just need to make money. We just bought Lucasfilms. We need to make money, make standard Star Wars movies. Don't give anybody any depth, and just do it. Just make us money. And that's what I don't want. I want, dude, DC characters are fucking cool. Like, the dark, gritty side of comics is really fucking cool. And I'm just tired of it getting shitty directors and shitty writing and movies like Suicide Squad. Like, just fucking, ugh, God, kill me.
Yeah, I think where the Marvel, where I think where superhero movies in general across the whole medium, for even comic books, for movies, TV shows, is when you try to cater to the PG-13 audience, because comic books originally were for young children. They were not marketed towards adults at all. And so we had a lot of generations of kids who grew up with nostalgia towards comic books. And, you know, as we were growing up, we saw a lot of shitty comic book movies come out trying to adapt the books to movies.
Yeah.
And then with Iron Man, you know, Marvel and Disney struck this huge chord in everyone of being able to finally see their favorite comic book characters come to life, and not really do anything past, you know, definitely no rated R, right?
Yeah.
But where we are now is like, and same with Star Wars, is like, I want a rated R Star Wars. I don't particularly, unless it's like a Pixar movie or something, or I don't know, like if I'm watching something that's PG, it's because Vivian's in the room and I'm not going to get anything out of it, right?
Yeah.
And the things that are successful in so for me, if you're going to pluck something out of DC or Marvel like the mainline stuff, I just don't care. What I do care about is things like The Watchmen or The Boys, where
Yeah.
it takes the what I know about comic books and what I liked about comic books as a kid and puts them in our real world and gives them real consequences and what would this be like if they were real. In there's so many cool stories that you could tell with the evolution of, I think, like even from Iron Man, like it's been over a decade of this, comic book movies. Yes, we really like it. Keep doing it. And they pumped him out and they pumped him out. And like, I am so done. I don't care. The best Marvel movie is still a 7.5. It's like
Yeah.
an 8, maybe. Like the
Yep.
best, the best, the best, the best, the best it can do. But
Yep.
like, the Watchmen literary, like the Watchmen comic book, the boys graphic novels, and even like the show is like brilliant writing, and you know that's what I want personally. I agree with what you're saying. I want them
Mm-hmm.
to do things that are not just Batman, but I want them to do things that are just not anything. Like I want writers like the guy who wrote the boys, or Alan Moore, to take superheroes, make new ones that nobody knows,
Yeah.
and then tell interesting stories with them. That's the only thing that interests me about superheroes.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. It would be really
See,
nice to get something new and original.
Like everyone's like, oh, this new Black Adam is actually pretty good. I don't care. I don't care. Because
Yeah.
even if it's pretty good, that means it's not that great. And for me personally, that's just not. I just don't care anymore. There was a portion of my life where I was like, I really want to get into the MCU and watch them all. I like the idea of this like continuing storyline, and then I liked the build up to the Avengers, and I do like the original Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I think that's really
Mm-hmm.
fun. Again, because I didn't know who they were, and it seemed like a new idea. Even though, yeah, it is based on a comic book, it's a very unknown comic book. And I don't know.
And Guardians is fairly new, if I'm not mistaken. Wes, do you know when did the first edition of like Guardians of the Galaxy come out?
I think it
I
was like the
remember.
7th.
I thought it was in the 90s.
Pretty sure
I'm
it's
looking it up right now. Let's see. Guardians of the Galaxy, the very first one with like none of the characters that we know. But the very first Guardians of the Galaxy was 1969.
Oh wow. So what about this? Like the characters we're seeing now?
Um, let's see.
And to like play off your point, Aaron, why can't, just because Stan Lee and everybody, like a lot of core Marvel guys have passed away and stuff like that, and like there's so many comic book writers out there, why can't we get a new like original story, like with a new
they're
superhero
out
and
there.
stuff? Like
They're out there. They're not mainstream, because it's so, especially now with Marvel and Disney pumping the mainline stuff out into the consciousness.
Yeah.
There is hardly, you have to be like into comic books to get to get these new stories by really good writers who are coming up with new unique stories. They're
Mhm.
not being written for Disney's Marvel universe, right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
strictly taking things that people already know, to some extent. But they're
Yeah.
out there. They're definitely out there. You can go to Barnes and Noble even and go to like the graphic novel section
Mhm.
and find some like really cool shit that you've never seen before.
Hmm. That would be interesting to do, honestly.
You can even looks like about 2008
Oh, really? Okay.
He's like
for
Star
like
Because-
the
Wars.
modern team.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Yo, what's up, Casper? Nub
Um,
says, I think Civil War was the best of the MCU, and then it took an odd turn. I thought Civil War was pretty good, but it didn't get me excited.
It lost me because that was the time where I was like, I'm getting into this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I read Civil War, and that was such a bastardization of that
Yeah.
epic story that I was
Well,
like, no.
Yeah.
Like, but a lot of people do like it.
So my problem with the movie Civil War is it's not like Aaron said, it's not the Civil War story, because the movie, you got to remember, isn't the Civil War. It's Captain America and the Civil
Yeah.
War.
Exactly.
It's they
Yeah.
made it a pure Captain America story.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
comic, the
Weird,
comic
man.
has like some deaths, has a shock reveal that like has a really funny panel in the comic.
Mhm.
Spoilers for the comic, but when Spider-Man joins Iron Man's side, he literally does a press conference, pulls off his mask, and says, "I'm Peter Parker. I've been Spider-Man since I was 15." And J. Jonah Jameson's watching TV, and he basically has a heart attack after seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Like-
blew my mind in that comic book. It's like 3/4 of the way through,
Hmm.
and it's such a good scene, and I could not wait for that. I was like, if they do that in the movie somehow, like, yeah, perfect. I can't wait.
That would've
for
been
Civil
dope.
War.
That
So it's
would've
just
been dope.
it's just expectation probably on my part.
Yeah.
But going back to the point with comics, you can still do some established characters, lesser known ones, and make some great movies and rated R ones. I want a Lobo movie.
Yeah, but Disney Marvel's never gonna do that.
Yeah.
Same way that like they're never gonna make the Star Wars that I want.
True, but to be fair, Lobo is DC.
Still. I
Still.
mean,
Well, I mean, yeah, and I mean, we did get a couple of rated R of Marvel films, but like we got Deadpool 1 and 2, which I'm a fan of that character. They did it right, so I love it. We had Logan, which was fantastic.
I was bummed out, Wes, that they shit canned the Gambit movie.
The Gambit movie keeps getting like started.
I
and
love
shit
Gambit
canned.
as a character. I don't know how what's his name was going to be Gambit, but I really like Gambit as a character.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
If he can pull off Cajun accent, I think he could have done it well.
Mm.
I think what you need to do, one, yes, we need to have somebody at Marvel, Disney, and somebody at Warner Brothers, DC have the balls to do some rated R stories, some more adult stories for this, and adapt some of the better stories, like for Batman. Like, even though I'm tired of talking Batman stuff, stick with Batman. Hush or Court of Owls would make a great story.
Court of
Death
Owls,
in the
yeah.
Family. Death and Family would be great if you want to do another Joker thing.
I'm pretty sure there's I think the next thing Rocksteady is doing has something to do with Court of Owls.
That does
they did-
vaguely
so
sound
Gotham
familiar.
Knights was Warner Brothers.
Rise now.
No, the Gotham Knights game that just came out was the main antagonist was the Court of Owls. The next thing
That was the
Rocksteady's
Court of Owls
doing,
one? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I knew it was one of the two new.
They all know
Yeah, okay,
it.
that was it. Okay.
What's up,
the
Bunchy?
thing that Rocksteady's doing is the new Suicide Squad
Is
game.
it Suicide Squad they're doing?
Yeah,
Okay.
where they're going to be basically fighting the Justice League.
Okay, got it.
Also, Wes, Nub said that Logan and both Deadpools were before Disney when they were Fox.
I know I know the first one was. Deadpool 2 may have been Disney, but either way, like they've even said if they do a Deadpool 3, it's still going to be rated R. But I don't know if that's still going to have the same level of jokes that the other one did,
Yeah.
because it's still a Disney film.
Yeah.
Disney.
I mean, to me, Deadpool 2 was like a major step down from the first one. Even.
Yeah.
So like the third one has me kind of like, I just am so tired of the sequels and like just make one, make it good, and then do something else. So tired of it. Except for John Wick. Keep making John Wick.
Yeah.
See, but you say that, but yet you have, but now you're not liking John Wick as much because of the Continental, them making more
I'm
John
just
Wick
not gonna
content.
watch it. I don't like John Wick less. I just have no interest in it. Like there might be some people, sure, but like I don't think that lessens. Maybe it will because like people will talk about it and it'll get spoiled or something because I have literally no interest in knowing more about that. I like not knowing more about that, but you know, it is what it is. I just won't watch it.
And it's not like you hate sequels and stuff because you love it when other franchises do more content. Hot D, for example, you're getting more Game of Thrones stuff with Hot D.
Sure.
They're not.
Yeah.
It's just the Disneyfication of superhero movies.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
And then
one
DC
Doctor Strange movie is cool, but now like I just don't care about Black Panther enough for Wakanda Forever. I don't care about you know, I don't know, man.
I did see that, by the way, when I went to Chicago. We saw Black Panther 2.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, it was. It was a good movie in terms of it's a watchable Marvel movie. It's kind of the same formula. It was basically a giant. The whole movie was just a really big, tribute to Chadwick Boseman. I enjoyed. They do like a silent opening as a tribute to him and showing scenes from his from the first movie, which I thought that was nice. That was good. The actress that plays his sister was very good again. But other than that, like, it was kind of the same thing. I enjoyed the villain for the most part, probably up until the end, because, like, I like villains that are complex villains that have redeeming qualities where, like, you have a roller coaster of emotions. I hate him. I love him. I hate him. I love him. You know what I mean? This is stupid. This makes sense. His thought process here is really fucking weird, but, like, that is whatever. Like, I like that roller coaster of emotions, and it was doing that for, like, a good portion of it, and then totally fell flat at the end for me. And that's it's kind of like I walked out of the theater like, yeah, I was entertained. It was a little slow for me at some points. I felt like the build up to getting to see who the next Black Panther is going to be was a little bit too long. Because it was kind of like, then you get to the end and it's like, okay, boom, go. And then, like, your ending is kind of quick. It's not like build up, establish who Black Panther is going to be, and then you have the third act, as I guess you would say, like the end, you know what I mean? Wrap it all up, and you have the right out of the climax and everything. And I don't know. I feel like it fell flat there for me at the end, for those couple of reasons. Not a Marvel movie that I would be like, oh, it's on TV, I'll watch it. You know, I'm kind of like one and done with it. But it's it's watchable, and it was fun to watch it in the theaters. You know, it was fun to watch it because we saw Dolby with the recliners and the sound and everything, and it was nice. It was good.
The only unwatchable Marvel,
Iron Man 2
is not even. I sat through that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The
Captain
red
Marvel?
mask Captain America, the first Captain America.
Oh, the sleepy one.
It's garbage.
I fell asleep
I
so
would
many
watch
times.
Captain America. I would watch Captain fucking Marvel. Over that.
Yeah.
Fair.
Because it's before they knew what they were doing. It's like the pilot episode of Seinfeld where his apartment is different, and like it's like, oh, they didn't really have this figured out yet. You know?
Yeah. That's funny.
You know what a character arc is?
I interpret it as like you start off one way as your character, and then events happen that kind of change the character's either personality or the way they think or something like that, and then you have like an overarching moment, right, that changes it's like character development, right? That's how I interpret it.
Yeah, well, like your character acts a certain way, reacts a certain way, you know, at the beginning of the movie, and then by the end of the movie, they're presented with a situation that their original, you know, who they were at the beginning of the movie, they react differently to this situation, showing that like something in the story has made them change and grow, and they've had some sort of, you know, arc.
Yeah. So Aaron, it's like when we talked about how we thought like Luke Skywalker's character arc throughout all of the movies was a certain way, and then we thought it was really weird that he would all of a sudden try to kill Kylo Ren because that's not really a part of his character. You know what I mean? I think that's what I think of when I think of that. That's why we thought it was weird that he would like try to do that, because it doesn't really fit his arc.
It just doesn't fit his character. It's not really related to like his arc necessarily.
Okay.
Because like he didn't go through something that made him change, that made, the arc should make sense so that maybe he does make that decision and he is different, but he was presented with a situation like that before, and we saw him, choose something else.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The weird part about that is that it's a brand new situation that, based on the character that we know, not accounting for an arc, there is no arc reason for him to make that decision. It doesn't resonate with who we think it is. So it's not really the arc, but it is character related for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But what I'm wondering is, like, do you two think about that after a movie? Do you think about that once, we're talking about it afterwards and I bring it up? Is that a natural thing that you guys are present for or like aware of when you're watching movies?
So I think it's not in the forefront of my mind when I'm watching the movie and then right after the movie until I start to talk to different people about the movie. So I think it's having conversations after the fact that kind of jogs that in my, and that's why a lot of the times I change my perspective of movies after talking to certain people, because like even when Nubs watched that weird movie with us that he thought was weird at first, the more that he thought about it, the more that he liked it. And so for me, So for me, the more that I talk to people about it and hear different perspectives, then I can actually change my whole thought process on that movie.
What about you, Wes?
I tend to think about it more kind of like James when I talk about it with you guys, or I talk about it with Donnie, either in the moment, like we're watching Game of Thrones and in the final season, and now just kind of making fun of some of the writing because certain character arcs got clocked over in the final season or two. But I tend to only really think about it without like in the moment if it's a great character arc or a really shitty character arc. Like if it's just a standard hero's journey or something, I won't care as much because like, cool, I know where this is going. But if a character like has to deal with some weird trauma or massive adversity and they go a different way than I thought they would, that gets me to think about it a little more.
Okay.
But definitely talking it out too.
Yeah.
just bouncing it off you. Like, if you like, I also like getting your perspective, James' perspective, Nubs' perspective, Donnie's, just to see if you saw it differently than I did.
Correct. And that's exactly what I wanted to say too, Wes, was everybody, all of us, when we all talk about how we like media, we all absorb media differently, right? Aaron looks for certain things in movies. I look for other things in movies, right? Like, I like talking to Aaron about movies because I can get the deep-seated stuff of the movie, to where, like, when I watch a movie, I'm looking for the surface things. I'm looking for quick entertainment. I'm looking for movies that don't put me to sleep. You know what I mean? I'm looking for fun, like stuff like that, right? And then but then when I watch a movie like Hereditary, right? And then Aaron and I talked about how they filmed the movie and the different camera angles and what those meant and things like that. Like, that is the stuff that I really enjoy when I talk to, people about all of their different perspectives of movies. You know what I mean?
Do you think you could like tell? Do you think you could tell, a cinematographer, audio engineer, and a director and a writer what would make you not fall asleep? What those surface level things are? Like, make me a movie. Could you tell them those things?
I don't know if I could. It would probably be very layman's terms. I don't, it's hard for me to articulate into words that those types of people would understand better. It would be very layman's terms for me, because I know what gets me excited. Like, when I'm in the mood for an action movie, I know what kind of, like, I want amazing sound. I want crazy action scenes, explosions, you know what I mean? Cool stuff that doesn't look totally CGI'd. Like, I want it to look like it could possibly happen. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff.
CGI.
Right. Bad CGI.
Like it could actually happen. Not necessarily realistic, because
Right.
like superhero,
Yeah.
obviously a guy can't get pushed through an entire building.
Right.
But as long as the computer generated it with, it's not clearly obvious, with enough pixels, that you can't tell.
Right.
Right.
Like
okay.
the scene of the dragons fighting in Hot D in the finale.
Yeah.
That's amazing CGI.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Have you ever seen a bad action scene? Do you ever remember like seeing an action movie and going like, I hated that?
Give me a second, but I can, because I do.
Do you have one, Wes?
An action movie that I hated.
Like an action movie that you just walked out of and were like, that was awful.
I know there is a couple.
Well, and it goes back to the CG thing. I don't know if it's Fast and the Furious 4 or 5. Because there's a scene specifically where they're driving at night in the desert, and they drive like through a mountain or a cave system. And I don't think they even had models of cars for it. Like, it looked bad.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But I think part of it is with depending on what mood I am when it comes to the action film.
Yeah.
I just don't care. Like, if I just want to watch fuck it. If I just want to watch a Michael Bay, like, turn off my brain movie, like watch giant robots beat the shit out of each other, or Pacific Rim, giant robots versus giant monsters, cool. I'm in. I don't care about deep story or amazing acting, because it's probably not going to have it. Or like, I set myself those expectations walking into those movies.
What about action though? Because I hated Jurassic World 2. I fucking hated that movie.
The one with the bidding at the end?
Yeah.
The one that we did the CinemaScope about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I hated that fucking movie, Wes. And I actually hated, I don't really like most of the Fast movies at all.
So when it comes, just because you brought it, when it comes to the Fast and the Furious movies, I like the first one. Tokyo Drift is all right. And the later ones just fall into like, this is stupid fun, and I'm waiting for them to go to the moon with their car.
Yeah.
Bottom of the ocean and the moon. Those are the next two.
I have no
but
desire.
like you brought up,
Don't care.
you brought up the Jurassic World movies. I don't like any. I don't like Jurassic World. I haven't seen Fallen Kingdom, Fallen Empire, or Dominion. Is that the
Yeah.
newest one? Because I don't care.
Fast future.
Because like Jurassic Park for me peaked at the first one.
Yeah. Yep.
The second one gave me hope because I love the idea of, okay, what happens when all these dinosaurs leave that one little island and come to America, come to mainland, anywhere, right? And that's kind of the promise we got in Jurassic Park 2, and that's kind of the promise we got at the Jurassic Park Dominion, or Jurassic World Dominion, which they didn't fulfill on either of those promises.
Yeah. When oh, go ahead, Wes.
I'm just thinking back to the act, like just pure. When I think of pure action movies, my brain does go back to like the 80s and 90s Schwarzenegger movies, right? Commando.
Lethal Weapon was really good.
Lethal Weapon for more of the comedy, the cop drama. Even though I say it's a Christmas film, Die Hard.
Hey, what's up, Nitty Kitty? How you doing?
We talk like those big action films.
Ooh, Die
I don't.
Hard, yeah. God, so good.
When I go in, first time I watched Die Hard, very first time I watched it when I was younger, I thought this is gonna be a good action movie. I came out of it thinking like, wow, that's just a good film. At least for me, I love that as a movie.
Yeah.
Right. But if I watch like, oh fuck,
How do you know though? Like what checks off in your head where you're like, that goes from a good movie to a great film?
Okay, so sticking with action films, if the acting is actually good, because again, I go into like action films thinking like, okay, the acting's probably going to be subpar at best, right? For more modern ones, I guess if the effects look good.
Yeah.
So CGI again, like
the CGI again, but well, not even need CGI. John Wick is a great example.
Yeah,
that's a practical effects are amazing. If it does, I guess from a cinematography side, something at least a little different to stand out. The first couple Fast and the Furious movies, great car chase films with more modern cars.
Yes, and you know what, dude? I was thinking, because I was in the mind of thinking like car chases, action, and I was thinking like all of those James Bond films, like all of those chases through the cities and everything, and like, and the modern ones too. I'm talking like Pierce Brosnan and Up for James Bond movies, were amazing action scenes, very minimal CGI. Like they're so fucking like, and I think of like things I wouldn't normally think of, like, man, I wonder how they filmed that. You know what I mean? When I'm watching those cars and everything, and it's like, is the camera on the dash? Like, is there a guy following? Like, is there like, choppers or something with fucking cameras, filming the overhead shit? Like, it makes me think about all those things. Gone in 60 Seconds did that for me when I first saw it. Like, when I first saw Gone in 60 Seconds, I absolutely fucking loved that movie, dude. I loved it so much when they jumped the fucking bridge, like, at the end and everything. Like, I thought that looked really good. And I was like,
Okay.
yeah, I was young-ish when I saw it, so I watched it again to make sure I wasn't fucking an idiot.
One more point, Aaron.
Ooh, drone cams, yeah, nitty, for sure.
Mind if I do one more thing of what turns an action movie from a good action movie to a good film for me? If I care of what happens in the slow times of the movie.
In the what?
The slower parts, when the non-action scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And not just like, eye candy or sex stuff, right? Like, is there funny banter? Is there like the hero going to his mentor or going to a longtime friend and that just genuinely talking with each other. If those scenes happen, that's what transitions it from being Commando to John Wick. Like that's just the examples in my head right now. But do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
Jack, thank you for the resub. Appreciate you, brother.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
Is it okay if we keep going down this train?
Yeah,
Yes.
do it. I mean, we
Okay.
are the train daddies.
One movie, two movies, one scene. Okay. They're both cars, both car chase scenes, but
Okay.
the one part where a bridge opens up and then the car jumps over the bridge and the cops can't get over and they land. One is good and one is bad.
Mhm.
What separates them?
What makes one bad, one good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Same scene, like a bridge jump scene from John Wick or a bridge jump scene from shitty Fast and the Furious, right? Same scene, same thing happens. One's good, one's bad. How do you tell the difference?
So for me, I think the way that shot is done, and I mean that like there are scenes where the car makes the jump and the camera focuses on the people inside of the car and not the actual stunt, right?
Okay.
And I want to see the stunt. I want to see how the car launches, how it's through the air, and how it lands. I don't care about the expressions on the faces of the people in the car or the people watching the car jump over. So that's what separates the two for me. I want to like that stunt, the way that stunt is done and the way that it's shot.
It's a good one.
All right. So, one, I agree with James on that. If you're showing me just them screaming in the car like a comedy would, I don't care as much about that. I want to see the car land. I want to hear the bottom of the car scrape on the bridge. I want to see it spin out. Maybe I want part of that too is like how the chase started. Is it a fun chase? Like, is that the climax of the chase too, or are they going to keep going? Are they going to attempt to top that?
Sound plays an important fact. I know you mentioned sound a little bit, Wes, but like, for me, sound is big too. Like the way everything sounds, that it launches in the air, hits the ground, sparks, all that stuff.
Yeah. And this no CG as well. Like, if pull this off with a real car, please.
Evel Knievel can do it, baby.
But I also don't want it. Even if it is a Fast and the Furious, I don't want it. So, like, if I can look at that and in my head, I don't see how it could happen with the terms of real Earth physics.
Mm-hmm.
Like the drawbridge is going up and they hit it at like this kind of angle, so it's like where they get some height. Versus the drawbridge is up and they still somehow make that perfectly. I mean, again, I'm watching a movie and an action movie at that. I'm supposed to have some suspension of disbelief, but there's a point where it pushes it too far. Great example of car chase and car stunts for me is Death Proof.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they don't have really the car jumping the bridge scene, but like that's all real car.
You sure it wasn't? You sure it wasn't Kurt Russell that did it for you?
I mean, he helped.
He fucking did it for me, baby. Kurt Russell's a badass.
Do you remember what his name is in that movie?
Stuntman Mike.
Yeah.
Because that's the joke in the bar when she asked the bartender, "What's his name?" Stuntman Mike.
Man, now he did it for us all. Yeah, did he for sure? I kind of want to watch Death Proof now.
Great movie.
Dude, I love Death Proof. Way better than the first part of that.
Second part.
The zombie one?
Yeah, Planet Terror was part 2.
Oh, that was part 2? I thought that was the first one. Okay.
I think you both captured a really salient point that I was trying to make and James brought it up and, Wes drove it home where you can have that exact same scene. The cops are chasing a car, bridge opens, they jump, get away. But one is a action movie where it's taking itself very seriously, And in that case, you're going to show the car, you're going to show a lot of edits between the bridge opening, them driving, the distance between them and the cops, the bridge, and then, it's all car. It's very, maybe some hand on the steering wheel, going, and then, no reaction until maybe after, right? And then you see is like, that was crazy.
Yep.
But, you have that same scene in a comedy and it's shot completely different. If you shot that the same way, that's not for comedy, that's shot for action, where in comedy you would go in the car and it's all about their reactions, and it's all about how the car takes off and how it lands, but it's more about the people inside and the cops reaction and their reaction and the satire of action movies that do take itself seriously, and that's what's so cool about movies, is that you could literally have the same actors, the same car, the same scene, and put the cameras differently, put cameras in different places, and edit differently, and you have a completely different tone. You have a completely different movie, right? That's what's so cool.
Yeah, and it's funny because I think of that Gone in 60 Seconds scene where he jumps the bridge and it was all about the car, and they're trying not to get as much damage to the car as they can because it's not going to be worth that much, right? And then I think of the Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg movie where there was a flying car, and it was like, was it a car scene? Now I'm trying to, I think it was, I don't think it was a car scene now. But what was that movie, though, where he's like, I'm a peacock, Captain, you got to let me fly?
The other guys.
The other guys, yeah. I think it was just The Rock and the other guy jumping off the building. I thought that there was a scene where they were in a car, like, doing a jump like that, and they focused in on the front windshield and to see their reactions or whatever, but now I think that was something else.
Well, so The Rock and Samuel Jackson did have a car chase scene before they jumped off the building.
Oh, okay.
And they drove through a bus.
Okay.
I think that's the comedy scene you're talking about. Yeah, then they go to the roof. Yeah. They go to the roof, they look down, and they think they can hit the bushes. So they're gonna jump and land in the bushes. Yeah. But then they just jump and land on concrete and die.
Right.
And everyone talks about, it's like, there were no bushes there. There was like nothing there. And then to Aaron's point, like that's a comedy scene there. But we've seen, how many action movies have we seen where guys jump off buildings to another building?
Yeah.
Or jump onto an awning, or jump onto a fire escape and walk away from it.
Yeah.
So we could have had that exact same scene in something like, what is it, Hobbs and Shaw, and they would have survived because it's the action movie. Is that kind of what you're getting at, Aaron?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. I just think it's interesting.
Boondock Saints is a masterpiece, Nitty. I love that. Love that movie.
I hate that.
Well, you're wrong.
I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion. What don't you like about it?
Yeah, I'm curious.
It's very pretentious.
I do not get that vibe at all. I love Billy Connolly. I love both the fucking brothers.
I get that vibe, but only because I've heard the behind the scenes stuff of those two movies, and the director thinks
Can
he's
you
a hot
Can
shit.
you guys explain to me, like I don't know anything about anything, what makes a movie pretentious to you?
The big thing to me, and I gotta try to think of an example where it feels like the story and the acting take second and third fiddle to basically the director wanting to shove his vision into your face. I don't know if I'm putting that in the right words, but
So with that example, or that explanation, I should say, I cannot see how Boondock Saints would fit that thing, that explanation.
I I can agree with, the only reason I agree with the pretentiousness is because I've read some of the stuff that, what's his name, Troy Duffy
Mm-hmm.
has said about himself as a filmmaker and the Boondock Saints in his movies, and he comes off as hyper pretentious. I'm a fan of the movie, so I don't know if I see the pretentiousness that much.
Okay.
Uh,
So for me, there's a thing called over directing,
Mm-hmm.
and there are, in the same way that there's a different way to shoot a comedy than an action movie than a thriller, there's an infinite amount of possibilities for you to put the camera, for you to move the camera, for you to move the actors, and um, Boondock Saints is, for me, extremely over directed, meaning the camera, to what I think Wes was saying, the camera is more important than the actors.
Okay.
So there is so much moving and panning and dollies, and good directors will sit the fuck down and let their characters deliver a monologue. They will let their story
Oh,
play out
okay.
and be there to observe it and add some, when there needs to be um, some different moves, like your Hereditary example,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you want someone to feel very in control, you'll shoot them from down below a little bit and make them seem bigger. If they're in a precarious situation, or if you want them to seem vulnerable, you'll shoot them from top down and make them seem, like they're lower. There's little things that you can do, and certainly, like, you can go places like Scorsese or Tarantino, who do like really cool moves or jump cuts. Um, but there's a thing that I notice when moves like that, and the camera, it's happens too much, and it
Mm.
makes my eyes roll in the back of my head, like, oh, okay, I know you're a director and you're directing this movie that you wrote and you're
Oh, I
really
think
proud
I
of it,
see.
but but
Yeah.
have some control and let
Okay.
your movie be the movie it is. So there's the over directing, but I also think that the story, I think the acting is quite good, but I don't think that's because of the director. I think that the actors are just really good.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have to find that balance between, did the director get a good performance out of his actors,
Mm-hmm.
or are those actors just kind of goated, right?
Right.
And um, I think those actors are very good for what they did, but the lines and the dialogue and the pacing for the movie was very, it came off to me as try hard. Like, look how badass I am. Look how,
Mm-hmm.
like, it made me think of um guys who want to go dress up in black trench coats and pretend to be those guys. It
Right.
felt like that guy was writing this movie, and it's like, I just kind of wanted to pat him on the head and be like, okay, you're cool, I get it, but like, it's
So
too much.
so essentially it's a director who doesn't necessarily trust the ability of his actors and tries to over, like you said, over direct by making unnecessary shots and different movements and stuff like that.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
look, I've seen this movie, I've seen this movie, I've seen this movie, so I'm gonna do this move, I'm gonna swing around him, I'm gonna push into him, I'm gonna pull away from him, and like, it's just like over and over, and like, to a certain point, it's like, calm down, like,
Yeah.
just, that's what I call over
That's very
directing,
interesting. Okay.
and yeah.
I
So
definitely now want to go back and watch that movie because it has been a hot minute since I've seen that movie. So now I am curious to go back and watch it and see if I could pick up on that.
so listening to your description, Aaron, until you got to the second part of it when you were mostly talking about the over directing, I'm not gonna lie, Michael Bay went through my head.
Yeah.
Does a lot of
He's a douche.
oh yeah, no, 100% is a douche.
He
And does,
over directs like a motherfucker. It drives me
but
nuts.
but he's not pretentious in the sense because he only fulfills half of your pretentious quota.
Well,
He
yeah,
doesn't.
sure. There's also like I know that, this is a low budget indie film
Mhm.
where with a big budget Hollywood Michael Bay film, it's like it could never be pretentious because you have so much money behind it. So there is sort
Yeah.
of like a limit of funds that limits your pretentiousness as well.
But it's almost inversed.
Yeah.
If you have unlimited budget, you can't really be
You
pretentious.
can't be pretentious. Yeah, exactly.
So
It's weird.
so someone like, but okay, then what about someone like Wes Anderson?
Mhm.
All of his
I-
films, like they're almost filmed to be pretentious, like on purpose.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think that's a good point. I think that's over directing to style, right? Because he's the only one, and I don't think it even has to do necessarily with his directing. I think it has more to do with his vision as far as set design and camera placement and what angles and what lenses he uses and where he makes people stand. His blocking is very Wes Anderson, but as far as like his directing, like you know like I said, panning, pulling, zoom, close ups, he relied, his style is more in front of the camera than behind the camera, if that makes sense.
Yes, I think I get what you're saying. It's just I guess at that point it's not pretentious or anything. It's just a style. Like I'm watching a Wes Anderson movie. I know this is a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah, like I could see watching the first Wes Anderson movie and being like, this guy's pretentious as fuck.
Was it Rushmore?
Yeah.
Did he do? Yeah, like you're
Yeah.
watching Rushmore. Okay, this is a guy who thinks he's smarter than everyone. He's pretentious.
Kinda,
Then you watch
yeah.
Royal Tenenbaums. It's like, okay, I'm starting
Like
to
this is
see
just
it.
this is just his style. Yeah, this is just like
Then
how this guy thinks.
like what, The Life Aquatic with Steve
Life
Zissou,
Aquatic, yeah.
Grand Darjeeling. No, we
Grand
didn't do
Budapest.
Grand Budapest. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good and interesting thing to look at when you're talking about like over directing and pretentiousness as far as style,
Yeah. It's just I like your take on it. It's you're right. If you have a Disney Star Wars budget, you can't really be pretentious unless there's a different type of pretentiousness when it comes to Marvel films and Star
It
Wars
still
films, right?
elicits the same feeling. It still makes me feel very annoyed, but I classify it as something different. I classify that annoyance as pretentiousness, where because normally if it's a independent film, it's somebody who just came out of film school and thinks they are very good at what they do, and it there has to be a part of you that is humble about your films. I mean, even Reservoir Dogs, even like Quentin Tarantino, like one of the even Mean Streets, like as far as like Scorsese goes, are very like they have their style, but they also hold back a lot compared to their other movies, right? Like once they get more comfortable, once their fans get more comfortable and the audience gets more comfortable, then you can do cool, really interesting things that, the indie directors watch and think is the only way you can direct. And then they just put all of that in, like, look what I can do. Look at all these things I learned.
So someone who's
Yeah.
a Scorsese fan in film school, it's like I'm going to be the next Scorsese and make Scorsese films, which then it ends up coming off like, wow, you just tried to rip off Scorsese and you suck
Right.
at it.
That's another interesting point. There's a fine line between homage and ripping off, right? And that can be super, super delicate. There are most of Tarantino is straight ripping from other movies, right? But he does it in a way where when you go back and watch what's it originally from, it's an homage, and it's because it's done. There's taste involved, and there's again that restraint involved. It's not the focus of the whole picture. It's a piece of it.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So
I
is,
really want to go back and watch Boondock Saints now.
so just circling this conversation back to superhero and Marvel films, is there, from what it would sound like with you, there's almost nothing Disney Marvel could do to bring you back. Like I can't see, based on what we've talked about, them bringing you back, because you even said it's like for the more modern ones, the best one is a 7 or an 8.
Yeah, I'm extremely checked out, and Andor was very good, but um I almost feel like the Star Wars about it, as limited as it is more holding it back than doing it a favor. And I think a lot of Star Wars diehards are like, this is fantastic, telling real stories in Star
Mm-hmm.
Wars universes, which is what I have been asking for. And, Caleb made me think about it when he said, like, the quality is not that much different than House of the Dragon, yet I'm a far more passionate about House of the Dragon than I am about Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that's very true. I
So
think,
okay.
yeah, I think just if that was just anything, no Star Wars, I probably would be more interested in it. But it's like,
If
because it is linked very lightly to Star Wars, it's like holding it back a little bit.
so it's one of those things, if they did the exact same story as much as they can with the same cast and same characters and just scrubbed out everything Star Wars related, create new
A
space prison
new,
3000,
yeah,
right?
if it was a new IP, like,
But everything else is still the same.
yeah,
You would enjoy it more.
yeah,
And then, in theory, by that same token, if Hot D did everything the same, but had no connection to Game of Thrones, you would, in theory, like it a little less.
in theory, yeah,
No, I'm
in
not.
theory, yeah.
I like I said, we're just about done with Game of Thrones. Going to start Hot D, but
Hot dude.
it it seems like it's your love of something for it, right?
Yeah, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because we've talked about this with, like, I say this all the time. Like, I can relate to this video games. Metroid Other M on the Wii is a bad Metroid game. It ruins the Metroid story. If
Mhm,
they left everything the same and just gave it another game paint job,
mhm.
took all the Metroid related stuff out of it, it'd be a fantastic game.
Okay, yeah.
It really would. But because they ruined something I love and grew up with, or not even Game of Thrones, I can't even say grew up with, like something I love, and they bastardize it to that point, it just immediately draws hate from me.
There's
Yeah.
also like the House of the Dragon show has nothing to do with the quality of the last couple seasons of Game of Thrones that I didn't like. It's based on a book that's separated from the Game of Thrones novels. Yes, it takes place in the same universe, but there's not anything in universe that I have a huge problem with. It's like how the show executed those things, I hated. You know what I mean? But
Okay.
um, with Game of Thrones, there's nothing like soured in my head where I'm like, it can't. Game of Thrones is not, the fact that it's in the Game of Thrones universe is not holding Hot D back. And in fact, I think, to like, I don't know, maybe be inconsistent, I would still like Hot D if it wasn't attached to Game of Thrones at all, because it's that quality. Where I think um, Andor would be just as good if it wasn't in the Star Wars universe, and probably would pique my interest more, knowing that it doesn't have all this shit that I am completely uninterested in attached to its lore.
With because Andor takes place right around Rogue One, right?
Yeah.
Right, and then Rogue One leads into the original trilogy. So
Mhm.
if you, I guess, can segment it in your head that this only relates to that part of this, that it's relating it to the best part of Star Wars. And from what you and Nubs were saying, there's not much Star Wars about it. There's just hints of like the Empire and hints of they talk about their building. I'm assuming they talk about building the Death Star, right? So it's just sprinkled in, but because you right now you have such a bad taste in your mouth about Star Wars as an entire franchise, it's bringing it down. It's gonna get a B at best in your eyes.
Right. Yeah.
And that reason is because over the past, oh fuck, how long now? 8 years? Star Wars has just been beaten into the ground in terms of oversaturation of Star Wars stuff, like the problem we have with Marvel, and just producing bad shit.
Yeah, like if there was a Game of Thrones movie every other year, in decreasing quality, and then, a new Game of Thrones show, animated and live action on HBO like every other month, then like I probably would feel similarly too. But like, yeah, I think like it's so the market is so flooded with that. I'm just kind of like in general over of Star Wars. So the fact that it takes place in Star Wars is like a negative.
Yeah.
Because I like it so much, it's weird.
I gotcha. Okay, and a little bit too is probably Hot D is redeeming how Game of Thrones ended. Not changing that story at all, but this is what you should have done. This quality, not what you gave me. Give me this.
So Wes, real quick. So I think you were talking about Andor just a second ago. So that Andor, you don't see the Death Star. It's not about building the Death Star. It's about the spark of the rebellion. It's it's the start of the rebellion. Like the Death Star, like Nub says, isn't even shown until 15 seconds of, in the after credits of the finale.
That's what he was saying. He was just saying that it briefly mentioned,
Yeah, like here's the thing. I can connect the events of Andor to the Death Star. And I think that's what Aaron's going to as well. He can connect everything in the Star Wars universe to Andor. The good and the bad. Because it's about the Empire.
Universe, yeah.
Yeah, it all exists. Okay. Like, I kind of get what he's saying. Like,
oh, is Nubs disagreeing with me? Is he arguing with me and I can't see it?
No, it's just like he said.
He just said, I can agree that a love for something can make a bias. Like Pokemon fans with Scarlet Violet, him with Star Wars. He said, he commented it takes place a few years before Rogue One. Whatever Wes said, he said not at all. And then he said we got 15 seconds of the Death Star in the after credits. And then he just said valid.
Actually, that's a great point about Pokemon too. Like, I'll admit the new Pokemon game is a buggy nightmare mess, and I probably shouldn't have paid $60 for it and voted with my wallet, but I still am enjoying the game. I still love it.
Yeah,
I can find positives.
Nobody thinks that biases don't exist.
Yeah,
I think we're all on the same page there.
Oh, he's saying what you and Wes are saying are valid. That's what he meant. I think Nubs is on mobile, so we're getting delayed responses.
I can tell you if we want to talk about bad Game of Thrones stuff, I just watched the second to last episode. The I guess the fight at King's Landing.
Yeah.
So a couple of things. One, I'm going to tell you right now, Donnie's least favorite part of like what she's hated the most right now in the ending is she hates that Brienne of Tarth basically became Samus from Other M to Jamie at the end. like I kind of got like we had a discussion about this. Like I could see where the love story was starting to go. Donnie was like, no, that's just respect between two soldiers, knights, that kind of thing, right? But then like her just busting out crying at the very end. And again, I haven't seen the last episode, but Donnie looked this up. That's her last scene in the series.
I couldn't tell you. I don't
Yeah.
remember, but probably, yeah, if you looked
Yeah.
it up.
And then the fight at King's Landing, which starts off I starts off smart. The dragon gets to actually do something. Oh, we also had that argument that the dragons really don't do a lot in the series,
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
except for Drogar. He gets the one to take out every single spear, all the ships. Right,
Drogon.
doing
Yeah.
good. Drogon. And then they evade the city. The bells ring. Everyone's been told, once the bells ring, they're surrendering. Stop. And then just she decides to go full Aerys Targaryen.
Yeah, she snaps.
Yeah.
It's kind of quick.
It is very, very quick. I now can agree with the point that I read on Reddit a while back that they could have had her descent into madness be an entire season.
Exactly. It deserves it. It deserves it.
Yeah. But like, oh, also I was disappointed with Hound versus Mountain. That could have been a whole episode of those two beating the shit out of each other,
Yeah.
top to bottom.
I
Also-
imagine what George told them is like they fight on a tower, and they were like, okay.
al-
Okay.
Also, the way the series is going, I'm really surprised Arya didn't get the final kill on Cersei because they gave her everything fucking
I know, they
else.
give her everything else anyway.
Well, it also would make more sense. She has assassin training, some magic
the
of the
things
death
that make
gods.
sense, they don't do, Wes.
Mhm.
I can tell that now.
If you didn't know, Ryan Johnson worked on this. He wanted to subvert your expectations.
Rian Johnson. I can do it better than you.
But and again, no, like we're now starting to get all the like not even the shock deaths, just like people who should have died a while ago deaths. I don't know. I'm now starting to see the hate that this final season got. I'm just glad I didn't have to wait a year for this season to come out to be let down this bad.
Yeah,
What up?
You can just
What up,
watch
dingus?
the final episode.
Yeah, I just got to
I'm
watch
gonna
one
wait.
more episode now.
There's a wild
Um,
Darth Dingus in the chat.
Oh, really?
What it do? What it do?
Hello, Dongus.
Yeah, the arc, and Nubs is right. The arc of Jamie was squandered too.
Oh, I didn't even see that shit.
So
All the
again,
arc of Jamie squad. Yeah, yeah. True.
arcs of a lot of people got squandered or messed up, but I can't blame Mr. Martin for it because clearly these creators, the showrunners, decided that the same with we were talking about Witcher. They thought they were smarter than the creator, smarter
Yeah.
than the source material.
Yeah, they didn't even have any. I mean, nobody knows exactly what he told them. You know, they just said, like, I told them how I plan to end it, and they can do what they want. So we don't know if it was like spot on, if he gave them like a detailed, you know, it's obviously not written. So how much of it does he even know? Maybe
now-
maybe he just gave them how he like the very, very end, you know, and they just filled everything in, you know.
Yeah.
And then now I wonder how much of the show is going to end up in the books.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, like I was
Dude.
doing that challenge last month to write a, 50,000 word novel in a month as a way to just like, start writing, and so many ideas for this book come while I'm writing, like I think and I write and I have notes and I'm like, okay, I know I want this to happen. I know, but then when I'm in the middle of it, it's like, oh, this just happens organically. And it's almost like I'm so like, how much does
yeah.
he know, beforehand versus when he's writing it. And then like, oh, actually I'm going to have this happen. So I don't blame George at all for the last stuff.
It's what, DB Weiss and who?
And Benioff,
Not gonna work here much longer. That's who it was.
not going to work anywhere.
It's
You're gonna see him at fucking Staples with
Yeah,
fucking polos on,
yeah.
selling
I
primers.
I figured he'd be working at a Starbucks.
Yeah, at
Yeah,
Starbucks.
right.
So like it's just I now am understanding all of your guys's and all the other Game of Thrones fans just like sadness for the series because the first 4 seasons,
Mhm.
top tier.
So good, so good. It just sucks that you
Top
can't go
tier.
rewatch it because it's like I'm not gonna rewatch it. I want
You're-
to.
You could stop after season 3.
You
Just
could,
call it
yeah, but
good.
that's not the end of the story.
But you know the end of the story.
No, I don't, George.
You know the end of
George.
the TV story.
George.
Callisto Protocol has been released.
Oh shit.
Callisto. Bow, bow, bow.
I do hope it's good.
Let's do the news.
Let's do the news.
No news scene, Wes, so just go ahead.
No news. All right.
Oh, I
So
don't even need this.
didn't even need this. So first bit of news, The Witcher they've announced that the remake will be full open world,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Which is
believe
very exciting.
it's a ground up remake in Unreal Engine 5,
Fuck yeah, baby.
which if you guys haven't seen it, Unreal Engine 5 can make shit look good.
It does look really
Fuck
good.
yeah, baby.
But the open world is nice because, and we've said it on the show before, Witcher 1 is not a good game.
It's almost impossible to go back to. If you want to boot it up, just go to YouTube and watch a retrospective. Like have someone else do it for you because it's miserable.
So we'll get hopefully more modern controls, maybe a little easier. And I'm not saying it can't be hard because Elden Ring and Dark Souls is great, but there's a difference.
Combat.
Yeah. Make the combat fluid and better.
The combat is so different. It's not even like it's a product of its time. It's just that it tried something back then that didn't work back then, Like it wasn't even highly regarded when it came out. It was like, holy shit, this fucking sucks to play.
Yeah.
It wasn't until 2 that people were like, "Oh, okay, The Witcher is pretty all right, I guess."
And I mean, the first game is why the as part of the reason why the author just gave them all the rights to the game for one price.
Exactly. Yeah, it makes sense.
It's like, yeah,
Um,
you aren't gonna do shit with this, so here, pay me X, and you can just do what you want with
and
it.
at least they got to renegotiate once it,
Yeah.
popped off and stuff. But I also found out that CD Projekt Red has one DLC coming out for Cyberpunk called Phantom Liberty that comes out sometime next year. And they're only doing that one big DLC because they're already working on the sequel to it, which is crazy.
Damn.
I really would have thought that they would have just like forgotten about CD or about Cyberpunk and just let's go to Witcher 4, stick to Witcher, and everyone will forget. But they're like actively in production on a sequel already. That's why they're not doing DLC for 1.
Okay, that's
Like well, more specifically, they said they've been so focused on fixing it and the production of the new one. So yeah, it was just weird.
Since we're just talking about it, they did turn Witcher 1 and 2 around into a great game. I will say Witcher 1 and 2 weren't horrible, buggy nightmare messes.
I don't know. I didn't play them upon release. I played them so much later, so they had all their bugs.
Actually, yeah, I played 2 when it was a free game on Xbox Live.
Yeah, that's years after its release.
Yeah.
1 definitely I didn't play when it first came out. But
That's cool. Hopefully they can not lie to us again.
hopefully they can't. Yeah, hopefully they don't lie to us again. Yeah. Oh, I also have more news too.
Oh.
Todd Howard gave a 2.5-hour long interview with Lex Friedman, where he talked about his design philosophy. He talked about Elder Scrolls 6. He talked about Starfield delay and all that. And It's pretty cool, pretty good to listen. A lot of info in there. If you're a Todd Howard Bethesda person.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
as much as I give shit to Bethesda, current Bethesda stuff, I still love Bethesda.
Yeah,
Yep.
unfortunately, me too.
Well, it doesn't happen often, but I'm going to shit on Nintendo right now for the
No,
next
Wes.
story.
Wes.
Hey, I've said this before.
Wes.
When it comes to game development and design, Nintendo is great. When it comes to their business practices, they're a fucking
True.
nightmare.
True.
They
Wes,
have just pulled.
Wes, they're gonna come after you, Wes.
They can come after me all they want. I'm only speaking the truth. Nintendo shuts down Smash World Tour Fighting Game Championship. So,
What'd that mean?
so there has been Nintendo hasn't done official Smash tournaments I think since Brawl. So there's been a third party called Smash World Tour. They've been doing a world tour. They've
Sure.
actually been going around, doing tournaments, getting rankings. Like thousands of people have played. Let's see, they've done 6,400 live events with 325,000 total attendance over each event.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the largest prize pool in competitive Smash history at $250,000.
Damn.
The championship, the finals, was supposed to be some point either at the end of this year, beginning of next year,
Mm-hmm.
and Nintendo just canceled it. They said, "Nope, you're not licensed to do this. We're pulling it."
Damn, dude. Does this have anything to do with them not letting Smash be in the Evo,
Evo
event? Yeah.
Yes, and I think it's due to a license that they work with another company called Panda Global, and they're the ones who's handling all of their like Nintendo tournaments. They were doing it with Splatoon 3 recently, and apparently I got an update to this story recently that they're teaming up with Panda to set up a series of officially licensed Smash events.
Oh my god.
But the kicker is
There's
the
no
guys
pleasing you, Nintendo.
the guys at Smash World Tour. So Nintendo's claiming that they told the guys at Smash World Tour that they could finish their 2022 championship. They just can't starting 2023. But according to the guys at Smash World Tour, it's no, we have to stop now.
Wow.
And fucking like I don't know why Nintendo hates anyone even using any of their likenesses or images on their stuff without their permission. Like there was a little while that they were trying to do a content creator club where you had to pay them to do stuff like gameplay and
God.
reviews.
Jesus.
Yeah. And
That's
this is Nintendo. I mean, like I love this company. Between me and Donnie, I think we've owned every US released Nintendo console at one point.
Yeah.
Mario is almost always a successfully great game. Zeldas are always good. Kirby is fun. Like their first party stuff is great. It's just fuck.
Yeah, they're weird.
Honestly, ever since Reggie left and Satoru Iwata passed away, shit's gotten a lot worse. DMCA claims on music. Oh,
Yeah.
lost Aaron.
Aaron went bye-bye. Where did Aaron go? He just pooped out.
Oh,
Poop-a-loop.
he pooped back in. Maybe.
Did his internet go poopy?
Am I back?
You're
Yeah.
back?
You're back, but
There's
not
no
no
video
video yet.
Back.
Loading. There we go. Did
Greetings.
you
press the wrong button?
Yep.
Events like this just remind me that Nintendo isn't the great family friendly company. They are a for-profit company.
Yep.
Yeah, they're a business.
They're an actual business. I also
All
have
right,
a,
and
a
then-
bit of news when you're done, Wes.
Okay, go ahead with your news. I've got one more story after this.
Oh, yeah. Okay, mine won't take long. As of today, due to a partnership between Ubisoft and Bungie on Ubisoft on December 6th, we will be getting Assassin's Creed skins in Destiny 2, baby. And I'm so fucking jacked. There's a picture of it, Wes, if you want to look it up. It shows one of the skins. It obviously looks like an assassin. But I'm fucking excited because I'm a little girl for Assassin's Creed.
For butt.
For butt. I almost said Bungie and I had to pivot.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla and
Destiny
Destiny 2
2.
crossed over.
Yeah.
What
December
the-
6th.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Oh wow, they have one that looks like the bone armor from Skyrim.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
shit.
that's-
Really? I didn't see that one. Let me see.
It also features some Monster Hunter themed cosmetics.
Oh, shit.
Wait, why Monster Hunter?
Why Assassin's Creed?
But I mean, Monster Hunter is owned by Capcom.
Is Destiny ain't owned by Ubisoft?
But if this is a partnership between Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Destiny, why are you throwing Capcom in there?
I ain't throwing shit in there. They're doing it.
Also,
Dude,
why wouldn't you do
You know
Mega
what
Man?
those French fucks smoke? They're probably on some crazy PCP.
Yeah,
or
true,
something.
true. All right, and then the last story.
Sounds fun.
This one was presented to me by Aaron.
God damn it. I'm gonna kiss myself.
It appears that the U.S. Army has planned to pay streamers millions to reach Gen Z through Call of Duty.
They planned on it. So basically, they released somebody found a bunch of internal documents at the U.S. Army that they had collected billions of dollars with the intent to pay Twitch streamers, to pay content creators, to attract Call of Duty players, specifically in the Gen Z age group, to be in the army, basically, which is disgusting.
Gen Z age group with a focus on growth of females, Black, and Hispanics.
Yeah, specifically, those minority groups to get interested in being in the army and dying for our country. Luckily, because of Devil Kotick and all his crazy shit that caused a bunch of lawsuits, the army saw that as a bad publicity stunt. So they pulled all that money back and didn't actually do that. But the intent was still there, and it is terrifying.
Yeah,
Damn,
it looks like
dude.
it looks like the marketing calendar from 2021 was released. And yeah, it's talking about how they wanted to work with. They were going to go through Twitch advertising, Activision, so for Call of Duty, Paramount Plus, Loop Me. I have no idea what that is. WWE. Just teaming up with esports teams, streamers, anything with advertising. Just more advertising, more saying like, "Hey, we're playing Call of Duty, sponsored by the U.S. Army." Now,
Army's
it
pretty
is
cool, right?
It's not the first time the Army has used video games for recruitment. There was
for sure, yeah.
there was a game that came out in like the mid 2000s, a PC military shooter that was made by the Army.
Correct. Yeah, they actually developed one.
Yeah. Chris tells me all the time how the Marines they recruit gamers and stuff like that and go after certain demographics. Yep.
Yeah, I learned. I forgot what I was watching on what docuseries on YouTube I was watching that the No Child Left Behind thing had a little provision in there that schools had to provide the military with test scores and statistics of schools and phone numbers of students.
Correct. You know why? The army, the army branch of the military has an IQ limit. Not that IQ means anything, but if you are above an IQ, they do not accept you.
Wow.
They specifically want dumb people who want to die for the United States.
So I'm glad this isn't getting pushed through. Because I'm looking through more of this calendar and stuff, and it's a little that's a little skeevy.
Yeah, super.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were going to give like IGN 600 grand to start pushing this. Give WWE 675 grand. Give Chicago Optic esports team like 300K.
Personally, I just don't think the any military service should be marketed at all.
Yeah.
I think it should be. I just think
It's not a business.
Oh man, this grosses me out.
Oh, kitty
my
kitty time.
God. Oh my goodness.
Look at that paw. Help me. Save me.
Kidding? He came here and plopped down like this.
I can't believe Starry's missing this.
What a cutie.
Oh, no. Oh, look at my paws. Flex, motherfucker.
I'm so cozy.
Is Donnie laughing?
Yes.
Yeah. It's so funny.
What a chunk.
That is a big chunker. Big. Oh.
Don't talk to me about that.
Talk to the hand. Oh my God. What a ham.
She is a mad ham. That's so funny.
Big old ham sandwich. Wes,
Like-
you wearing a wrestling shirt?
No, it's a shirt for a character in Smite.
Oh, Smite. Okay.
Wow.
We're gonna have to
That was fun.
clip that for Starry. 2 hours, 10 minutes. Yes, that was super fun. So the Destiny Assassin's Creed thing, obviously you have to pay for everything. But it's pretty cool because in Destiny, in the Eververse, they're giving you an Assassin's Creed themed ship, which I think is cool. A Sparrow, a Ghost, a Finisher, plus 3 armor ornament sets. And in Valhalla, you're going to get a Destiny-themed armor pack with swords, a scout skin, and a mount skin, or a weapon pack with gameplay perks based on Destiny's subclasses. It's pretty interesting. Like, I could see
I'll see it.
the Assassin's Creed Valhalla stuff in Destiny because Destiny's doing like space pirates and stuff like that. It's kind of weird to see space Destiny in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I feel like that's a little bit of a leap for me, but I'm curious to check it out and see what it looks like.
Someone just
You can
hacked
change
the
your
Animus to
horse
put in
into
future
a-
tech.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. You can change your horse into a sparrow.
Yeah. What if they changed it into like a little tiny bird sparrow, Aaron? And he's just a little...
Like a bird.
Yeah, like a bird sparrow. Just flies away. We've gone from the mighty hawk to just a little sparrow that flies around with its little third sight. Just all over the place. You can only see it like half-mile radiuses.
As long as you get to voice it and you keep
Every time.
All right, let's see. I think I want to raid a friendo that we haven't raided in a really, really long time. Let's see if he's still on. Oh no, did he quit already? No. Did he get off? Damn it, Jeff. Jeff, did you stop streaming? I just saw him. Yep, he got off. Damn it. I wanted to rate him too because he was playing Octopath Traveler. Well, my second option was Wanderlust because this is the final day of his Skyrim multiverse season. So this is the season finale. He's wiping the whole game, remodding it, getting rid of all the characters that he's made in the multiverse, all of the things, the items that he's renamed and everything, doing a complete wipe, a brand new mod set, and everything. So this is the last day of the season. So I think we'll go over there and say what's up. And everybody could check out the last day of Little Wendy Pooh's season. Okay. Cue that bad boy up. Perfect. Nice. All right. Got that queued up. So thanks, everybody out there, for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for the resubbage. We appreciate the chatter in the chat. It was a good conversation again, getting all nerded out today. It was pretty fun. And we're going to go say hi to Wanderlust. We'll be back tomorrow night with some more shenanigans. What that is, we don't know yet. We just kind of wing it. We figured it out like 15 minutes before the show. So thanks, everybody, again. And let's go say hi to Wanderlust. And later, Zakari.
$100 scotch and it was still terrible. Price doesn't matter. What? Derailed games? What? Derailed games?
What's that, Dubs?
This is it. You're getting it. You're getting the alt art right here.